Yeah, absolutely. So, I started looking into a little bit of Dark Mirror the last few days to
Hmm.
prepare for this. I'm
Hmm.
far more familiar with Unity, but I would definitely agree with you. Dark Mirror is a lot more thrash oriented. I don't want to say heavier. I think people use the word heavier to describe something that's more extreme, because Unity is most
Hmm.
certainly heavy. You guys are real great Euro style power metal with a little bit of prog touch. I definitely dig the style you're taking with this new band.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Uh, would you say that you feel? I'm sorry for the joke here, but would you say that you feel reborn in the new bands?
Yeah. Um, it's not a joke. I mean, I, if you look at if you look at the past band that I was, if you look in our mirror, um, if you look at the titles of the album represent parts of the lyrics that are immersed into the album itself. So when I came up with the idea with Unity, first of all, I wanted something, a unison crew of people that will move forward in the same direction. Second of all, I needed to find meaning to this unity, in itself. So I started looking at the lyrics that I've written, excuse me, and then I found in one specific in the with this, which is odd because it is the last song of the album, Arise. There is a part in there that says "Reborn," and that just struck me, and I'm like, this is it. This is the name of the album. So definitely, it is a rebirth for me as a musician and also as a leader of this band. Not only because of my fellow musicians in this band, um, but also a more personal, try to erase everything that I've done or everything that went wrong in my past project. Try to completely skin it out, get that bad skin out and kind of like come to a rebirth and come to terms with what my decision of leaving a band that I have formed, that I started, and try not to look back. You know, I explained earlier that Tim, our drummer, was also part of Darmier, and from 2006 into 2008, he stopped playing because of an injury. So this one, he had quit playing. He hadn't played until now that he joined 2 years later. Adam Amdur, the bass player, he never plays bass. He's a very talented rhythm guitar player. But he said, "Oh, you know what? Let's give this a shot." So he took the bass for the first time. And also our guitar player, um, Jacko Gajtasovic, he's from Bosnia. In the guitars, he's been in the States. He's never been uh, in a band where original material was the main focus. He's always been in cover bands. So this one was a rebirth for every single member, a certain one way or another.
It's so awesome to hear how it really is a reborn for everybody in the band. It's not just Captain Zoe, you know.
At some point, I think I think that that's why I feel so identified. I feel that I personally feel this is the best work I've ever done. Um, as a singer, as a musician, as a songwriter, I think he nailed it. If I can say it, it was it brought meaning to this band.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, being a fellow musician myself, I mean, it definitely is a great feeling when you get into something new, when you realize, you see and you say to yourself, this is probably the best thing you've done. And the best thing about that is when you start writing things. Can you tell us about, the writing process, how it's going so far with Reborn?
Um, the writing process, um, he talks about a Unity forum in November 1st, 2010. To the date, we already had 10 tracks and a CD already out. So if you imagine in a year, a band of musicians, let's say 80% of them never played before together, to being able to accomplish this is pretty fast. But that is due to because when I left Darmier, I decided that I wasn't going to stop there. So I started was already demoing songs by myself, which is very strange because I don't play guitar at all. I play drums a little bit, but that's about it, you know. So for me, it was very hard to find somebody that could help me write this new material because most of it was in my head. The way I write things, and it might seem strange, I vocalized. You know, I will sing the melody of the verse or the melody of the chorus, and then I will use like a la la la, the mi 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 to try to make what I want it sound like. You know, so I needed to find somebody that could help me out with that. In a way, translate all this stuff that I had into actually musical. It's like recording with Guitar Pro, you know, with a bunch of MIDI, me, you know, and then we'll transform into real sound, guitars and bass and all that. So I did find a friend of mine, Jeff, and he helped me out with that. So I wrote about 2-3 songs, and then when I made Yasko, it all clicked. Like it was immediate. It was like he was waiting for me to come through that door. He works at a music shop. So I walked in. I'd never been in that music shop in my life, ever. So I walked in and I saw him sitting there and I said, hey, and I kind of remember who he was. And he said, yeah, are you the singer for that music? And I said, well, yeah, but not anymore. And I'm trying to put another project together. Would you like to check it out? I said, yeah. So he showed up and man, we wrote like 2-3 songs in a week. So It was very clicking at that point. Yeah, it was at that point. He took off. He took off. I mean, it was very good and very very fast. I mean, you got the album Pro in your hands. You listen to the whole thing. You can agree with me that he's a very very talented guitar player.
Oh, absolutely. He's really one of the shining stars in the album. There's a lot of really really great riffs and some awesome solos. And it seems like you guys are all writing, you know, like madmen. Stuff coming really quick. Stuff's coming really strong. Speaking of writing, you know, the first album came together pretty quickly. Have you guys started writing or coming up with any ideas for some new stuff, or is Reborn still a little too new for all that?
It is for some members in the band, but I'm always traveling like 1,000 miles per hour. I'm always working on new material, no matter what band I was in. I'm constantly working on lyrics, new melodies. You know, sometimes I will be at work, and a cool melody would just come to my mind, and I'll just grab my phone, I'll go to the bathroom, and start recording and singing it, you know, and then I'll play it back over and over again when I go back to my computer where I work and start writing lyrics for it, for the melody. And then when I get home, you know, I download it into my computer and record vocals in my home studio that I have. Unity is currently working already on about 2 or 3 songs. We have already 2 or 3 songs. One of them will be debuted on April 20th when we play with the Mighty Sabaton here in Waterloo, Iowa. And to be honest with you, I'm very excited about it. It will be the first time that Unity plays with a band of that caliber.
Awesome. I mean, it sounds like, you know, it sounds really exciting. It all sounds like you got a lot of things coming together. So do you have like any possible touring like ideas coming that you want to do with Unity?
You know, touring is a little difficult for some of the members in this band due to our working schedules. For instance, I work for the school district, so I have all summer off. You know, kind of like the Anvil deal. Not exactly, but nobody else has that same schedule. So I got all summer free. You know, and taking the time off, you know, puts a little dent on everybody's paycheck. If we were to cut that out, you know, say, oh, you know, I'm not going to work from here to there. We are, though, planning and doing, actually, a very small mini tour in the Midwest. We're taking 3 days, and we're doing Madison, Wisconsin for the first time, as well as St. Paul and Rochester, Minnesota. We hope that this tour brings more attention to Unity, right? And hopefully we get invited to play to those states more often. And hopefully we receive invitations. You know, we also receive an invitation to play in Georgia. And hopefully we can make that happen sometime, you know. Now, if you're asking me if I would like to go on tour, my answer is hell yes. And I would love to go on tour, visit other places and things like that. Or even have the opportunity to play with other more international renowned, band.
Awesome, man. So it seems like things are starting to come into their own. You know, you got the Sabaton tour coming up, or show coming up. You've got a couple new songs, and Reborn is awesome. What do you hope for the future of Unity? Anything real coming anytime soon? You think?
We'll concentrate on writing new material and play as many shows and visit as many states as possible before the end of the world in 2012. And yeah, but we want to promote Unity's music in every way possible: internet radio, YouTube, and all the networking avenues available nowadays. Maybe someday be able to go to Europe and play some festivals. That'll be sweet too. It's something that I got offered a long time ago with my previous band. Hopefully that invitation comes along this way, and we're able to do that. That'll be sweet.
That would be awesome. You know, Europe has always been the stronghold for our kind of music, especially the more melodic edge to it, like you guys.
Yeah, I'm jealous.
Yep. You're yelling.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
jealous.
we're jealous of that side of the world.
Yeah. We have a saying here. Every time that we talk about we're getting together and we're practicing or whatever in between songs, rehearsing, I say we'll be like, would be sweet to go over there, and I say, yep, we were put together in the wrong state, in the wrong part of the world. Because, but then again, if you think about it, how many bands of our style are in Europe?
That's
you
a good
listen
point.
to rock, and then you have like 7 or 10 or 12, and you're like, shit, these all guys sound the same. What happens here in the States when you don't have that? We're able to rise above everybody else, and that's a good thing.
Absolutely.
It's a good thing and a bad thing at the same time, because some people just don't get into it. You're like, hey, come on, what are the screamings? What are the growls? And all this? It just, sometimes it's a double-edged sword.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things I'm most jealous about is how there's so many open-air shows there. We don't have any of that here.
Very few.
Good.
So, hopefully in the coming years we'll get some more festivals. Maybe one day you'll headline one of the U.S. festivals if we could ever someday get something together.
Yeah, we want to get in a couple of festivals. So I think that'll be very sweet. Just because the more people you can reach at the same time, the better.
Definitely.
Can make a couple more, few fans here and there, and that's a good thing,
Absolutely.
Word of mouth is very powerful. That will never change. No matter how many websites or internet or MySpace or Facebook are out there, word of mouth is the best way of to go.
Definitely. So before we go, do you want to say anything to listeners, like anything you want to say about the band or yourself, anything like to any listeners listening right now?
Well, I want to thank you, Rob and Chris, and the Metal Workshop for taking the time to check out music and determine that it was worth having in your show. We worked very hard to record this album, and without the support like people like you, wouldn't be able to spread our music around the globe. Check our website at www.unityandmetal.com for more information about us, and thank you again for all the support.
Thank you for coming on, man. We'll definitely continue to jam Unity tunes on the show.
I appreciate it, man. You guys take care, okay?
You
take
too,
care
man.
too, man.
Yep, bye-bye.
See
Bye.
ya.